Understanding the development of leadership objectives. If a decision doesn't balance risks and rewards, it isn't worth making. We wouldn't need a man to utilize his judgment if it were a foregone conclusion. Errors are unavoidable. Instead than demanding that employees never make errors, we must instead demand that they learn from them. The boss should be interested in the long-term development of his team to observe that as they grow, their triumphs start to outweigh their failures. This idea of long-term growth is essential to ongoing leadership. Each guy must be given the opportunity to understand that his contribution to the group's development is the only factor that can prevent it from growing. He must particularly perceive the leader as the one who is most concerned with and supportive of his development. The presence of interested personnel officers or other staff members who don't participate in policy making is insufficient. Despite all the technical support they may offer, they will never be able to replace the responsible executive's interest. Managing tact. One frequently encounters misconceptions at this precise time. No sane individual wants to use the CEO as a substitute for a parent, psychiatrist, or even a personnel director. He can and should have a completely apolitical and unemotional interest. He could say anything along these lines to the worker. This is not a personal matter. Everyone in your post would be treated equally. However, I'll make sure you have every chance to use every single bit of your potential as long as you work for me. Your development and happiness are important to me and my work. I will enjoy it more if you become a top contributor to this company more quickly. If there is a better way to complete your task, use it. If something is preventing you, come and talk to me about it. If you are correct, you will receive all the assistance I am able to provide as well as the respect you deserve. Without instruction, an employee won't experience true growth. The superior must occasionally reflect on his or her accomplishments and shortcomings and ensure that the subordinate understands them and their implications. And at this point in the evaluation, a very challenging part of leadership emerges. How can criticism be objective while still being powerful? How can a choice or approach be criticized without making the employee feel denigrated personally? At this stage, effective communication is crucial from two perspectives. Employee morale may suffer long-term harm, but a very specific short-term effect is frequently the failure of the employee to undertake what is necessary to carry out the alternative plan put forth by the boss, for fear that its failure could demonstrate that the latter was correct all along. By treating a situation impersonally and ignoring the human emotions and motivations involved, a leader all too easily fosters hostility and defensiveness. It's odd that these mistakes seem to occur more frequently in office settings than anywhere else, and we might well wonder if we haven't tended to isolate managerial activity from behavior outside of work, for example, in the family. We don't automatically believe that issuing an order or a letter will make our requests respected at home. The majority of intelligent people acquire social skills early in childhood. Making a personal and emotional environment appropriate for the specific person, such as a wife, adult son, adolescent daughter, or child, and the specific request that has to be made comes naturally. More than that, We are likely to be able to anticipate which features of, instance, a holiday itinerary to emphasize in order to appeal to the wife who wants to be catered to, the son who wants to go fishing, or the daughter who wants to hang out with teenagers. We'll probably discover that one of them is more likely to be persuaded if she participates in the decision-making process, whereas the other merely wants a pre-made plan presented for his approval or disapproval. In fact, we probably don't give such distinctions much thought when we respond to them at home. But while we're at work, we put on the hat of an executive or an employer and set aside our normal human relations intuition. We attempt to manage our duties by impersonal instructions or directions directed at whoever is in charge of carrying them out, forgetting that efficient human resource mobilization always necessitates voluntary engagement from everyone. Leadership is a human relationship. It takes a leader who understands how to employ them, as well as followers who have specific qualities and abilities,